Hello, everyone. Welcome to the June 2024 Koha-US Cataloging Special Interest Group. If you're watching the recording, just want to let you know that there was no May meeting. The May meeting was canceled, so don't look for a recording of that. And the July meeting was scheduled for July 4th, which is a holiday in the US, and I think it's Election Day in the UK, so we're not going to have a July meeting either. So the next meeting is going to be August 1st. Go to koha-US.org and select the events for the calendar, and that's where the meeting links are. And welcome, everyone. I'm delighted to welcome Millie, who's joining us. And I'm going to put a link in the chat to a photo that Fred had mentioned. It's me clutching my pearls and my cataloging and classification book, you know, in utter shock.
Yes, I used it with her permission. Excuse me.
Yeah, if anybody needs an image of a real cataloger clutching pearls over something creative and non-standard, feel free,
Yeah, I
just
was
grab
I was
it.
talking about the MedStar Authors Catalog, where I make up mark fields and do pretty much whatever I do. The great distress of real catalogers.
But hey, serving your users is the most important thing, and it's a great your use is a great example of how Koha is infinitely configurable in order to get the catalog information into it in ways that your users can best get it out. Well, does anybody have anything that they'd like to bring to the group today?
Well, I have a couple of things, but I'll let someone else go first, since I usually go first because nobody's saying anything.
I think everybody likes you going first, Fred, since they're providing the platform. Go ahead.
Okay, a couple of things that are probably of interest only to a very small group of Koha users. But if you are familiar with the National Academy of Science Press, and if you're on OCLC World Share, you can download MARC records for their entire catalog. And of course, they provide or publish a lot of stuff in the medical field. They got the Institute of Medicine, and I was planning to try to separate the medicine ones out, and my boss said, "Yeah, put them all in." This we have see the entire Rittenhouse catalog in there too, including veterinary medicine. Yeah, maybe a few things aren't relevant, but so what. Also, if you register with NAS, you can download any of their publications in PDF format for free, which fits nicely into our budget. Oh, and Heather, I think they also are publishing things on transportation. I'm not sure about history of shipping or maritime history, but they might. Okay, second thing. Again, kind of obscure and tangential, but we have a lot of electronic publications, and one of the problems about deleting them is that the MARC records contain just about every kind of uh, ISBN around. So it's kind of the chance of deleting something that shouldn't be deleted when I'm taking them out of the catalog. So I started putting the OCLC number, the 003, in as the 952P barcode, because we keep those blank. I actually tried using Elasticsearch to index these 003. Didn't work. And I have more to say about Elasticsearch later on. I should have said it yesterday at the general meeting, but I'll say it next week if I get to the sysadmin meeting. But someone else needs to talk now.
I think that's a really creative way to use the 952P, the barcode number for items.
Also, then I can just take the files that they send us for deleted items and use MarcEdit to extract just barcodes and put those in barcode file under batch delete. Yay!
Very cool. Well, does anybody have anything else they'd like to bring to the group? Questions, issues, success stories, bugs you're excited about? We had a discussion over on our list that there's a little Google group for our cataloging group, and we had a discussion about statistics and getting out statistics that you need from the catalog. And I was wondering if anybody wanted to mention how they do their cataloging statistics. We don't really do ongoing statistics. I just get snapshot totals. Like there's canned reports in Koha, like this is the total number of bibs. Now this is the total number of bibs. Compare, contrast, because we don't use the acquisitions features.
I do items added, items deleted, but it's not really the bibs added and bibs deleted. Bibs added and bibs deleted is a harder number to get from a consortium because you don't necessarily know always who it is that's adding or deleting a bib record because those aren't tied to institutions.
I was the one who asked the question. Ended up making a report that can count the number of barcodes that we add. So that helps with the number of items added. We're still working on getting the bibs separated out from our acquisitions, but I think if I add in the framework and the dates, that'll work. So thank you for everyone who is sending me SQL codes. I really appreciate it.
Well, this may be a very short meeting. I'm going to mention a bug. This is bug number 31507, and I'm going to put it in the chat. It's a tiny little thing. The title is When Printing Barcode Range Labels, Library Name Does Not Print. It's just a wee bug that I'm thinking people might be interested in. The thing is that when you're printing out a barcode range, before those barcodes are added to items, like this cataloger does, I print out a bunch of barcodes, and then when I'm cataloging, I catalog an item, and then I take my little barcode label and put it on my item, and after it's cataloged, I tweak it in. That's when it gets associated in Koha and gets a library name on it and everything. Beforehand, there's no way to get my library name on the barcode. So right now I have a little ink stamp. I'm going, looks kind of jinky. Anyway, tiny bug might be of interest.
What do you print your barcodes on?
An ancient little zebra printer. It's something like model 2824. It's not made anymore, but it's so simple. It's a tiny little workhorse. The software that comes with it for free does a fine job. I have one for barcodes and one for spine labels.
A workaround. Have you ever thought about putting your barcode numbers in an Excel spreadsheet and doing a mail merge with Word, because there is a barcode font, and do your template that has your library name at the top, and then the mail merge, your item is, the field is whatever column you did your numbers in, and then you change that font to barcode font, and then you copy that all the way through whatever label size you have, and then do a final new document. But I create labels all the time using Excel and Word mail merge thing. But you have to download it, but there is a barcode font.
Actually, there are a lot of barcode fonts.
Oh.
Code 3 of 9. I can't remember what else. George, you're the barcode scanner expert. Maybe you can add more to that.
And also, George does the terrific Every Other Thursday video where maybe Lauren can be a special guest star showing us this.
Well, what I was going to say is that with the, I'm sorry, I was half disconnected from the meeting there because I was helping somebody else for the first part of the meeting. So I've got more questions about statistics. With the new feature in Koha to add templates to reports, it seems like it should be pretty easy to create a report that could generate your barcodes for you, because there is a built-in barcode generator in Koha. One of the things you have to take into consideration when you're looking at barcodes is barcode 3 of 9 or 3.9 barcode, or there's like a dozen different ways you can get barcode 3.9. One of the issues with it is you can only use, it's the number of characters is limited, or not the number of characters, but the characters you can use is limited. You have to use uppercase letters, you can use digits, you can use a couple of pieces of punctuation, but there's a real limit on what kind of stuff you can put into a barcode in most of the barcode fonts. The big exception is QR codes, where you can put damn near anything you can think of into a QR code. But with the built-in font, barcode font generator in Koha, it seems like you would be able to create a report that would output, with the new template features, it shouldn't be that difficult to create a report that would generate barcodes in Koha without having to export the data into another file system, or in another system like Word, and then manipulating it there. So that's just a thought. The question I had for Stephanie is, I'm not on the cataloging mailing list, I don't think, because I don't remember seeing that email. But what kind of statistics are you looking for? Was it Stephanie that was asking the statistics question?
Our library does statistics of how many items and how many titles we've added each month.
And do you just, is it one library or is it a multi-library system?
We have 16 branches.
Okay. Oh, 16 branches, so not different.
So we're all one library system. So there's that, which is nice. All the cataloging and adding is done centrally.
Okay, so there isn't an issue with, then that's actually what you're trying to get is pretty easy.
Yeah.
To get a count of titles added and items added is not difficult then. So
yeah, it just have to think about it a different way, because our old system, when things were added into acquisitions, that wasn't counted as a new title. And in Koha, it's like, oh, this is something new, so let's pop that up as something new.
for cataloging reports, I've got a bunch of different ones, but for acquisitions reports, I don't have any because I got 50 libraries, none of them are using acquisitions. So.
Mm.
Oh, and reports, Heather says reports can be added to the Koha Community Reports Library on the wiki. Guess what's happening? Is that today or is that next Thursday? Today's Thursday, right? Or is today Wednesday? I don't know what day it is. Heather joined Christopher and I, and we did a video on how to add things to the wiki. So, but I don't know if that's coming out today or next week, because I don't remember when the last video came out, because that's not my part of the videos. That's not my job.
Coming soon to a YouTube channel near you. I really
like really
enjoyed
soon or within 7 days.
Yes, I really enjoyed doing it, and I wanted to do it too to show folks that someone without a background in doing wikis. But okay, yeah, I'm in a metadata field, but it's just fancy copy paste, kids, just fancy copy paste.
I think that
Oh,
video will come out today because it looks like the last video came out 2 weeks ago. So.
Oh, nice. The one thing that they didn't capture was my version of the wonderful music going like pow, 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 pow. So I hope that all gets added. Barbara put a bug in the chat.
This is bug 21860. Mark modification templates cannot check or change indicators. So we had asked for a price quote for development from Bywater, and the cost is higher than we could afford. And then they were approaching it a little bit differently than I expected. So I thought I'd just let you know what they said so that you can see where they see this going. So they said, develop an advanced mark modification templates tool that would be usable in all the same places as the current mark modification templates. The tool would use template toolkit similar to the notices, passing the record information into the tool. Logic could be applied to do more specific updates. When used, it would work just like the other templates, and then they estimated it as a median development 5,000 to 8,000. So my initial, besides the cost always, my initial thought was, oh, so template toolkit, that kind of threw me because I didn't expect that to be like a part of it. So I asked some questions, and they said doing it this way would help solve bugs, and I'd have to look up what these are, but 28915, and then they also told me, okay, you could also use it to do more complex checks without having to write multiple different rules as an alternative to the also higher barrier regex option, which I guess you can do that. And I never use regex, but that you can do regex in those mark modification templates. And then they told me, let's see, you could possibly even build one template that's slightly different based on source. Like if you know Y place always has field X in a way you don't like, but place A does, you could use it so you could only want to clear it if the source is X. So anyway, some complex ways of using it. let me see if there's anything else in here. That was about it. So anyway, I just said that was more than we could fund. And I would bring it up to the cataloging group to see, thoughts, discussion, interest, non-interest, whatever.
Well, I'm totally interested. We don't have money. Is there any way this could be brought for the koha-US development process? In the meeting yesterday, that was mentioned.
Yeah,
Yes, please do that. Please, please, please.
I will.
Yes,
So,
please.
so the first step for that is to go ahead and get Bywater to, because I've got the quote, but to get them to list it on the crowdfunding page.
Yeah. Send it to Andrew as well.
Okay.
Like getting stuff on the dev site has been a struggle. So I think that even if it's not on the dev site, we still want it on the list for consideration.
Yeah. But any thoughts about that, or?
Yes, love it, want it, want it, love it, want it. One of the reasons I haven't tried the modification templates at all is the simple fact that they don't use or account for indicators, and everything I want to do is influenced by the indicators because indicators matter. And I will mention too, there are on that bug, there are 24 users in the CC interested in it. That's huge. I seldom see bugs with that every time there's a change on it, notifications go out to 24 Bugzilla users. Just that shows a lot of interest.
Well, it's actually 25 now, but
Yes, 25.
And I looked up the other bug they referenced because they said it would also help solve bugs like 28915, which is mark modification templates should allow specification of a position or range within a control field.
George, I think I may have a new topic for every other Thursday video and a guest. Think you could do a talk about indicators, Heather?
I would love to talk about indicators.
oh, you've already been on. You can't be on twice. Yeah, we'll see.
That's a conference presentation, Heather. Next year, you and I can do a conference presentation on why indicators matter. I talked about it last year, and I will talk about it on my journal index whenever I get it done. But
okay, deal. 2025 indicators matter. Let's do it. And then maybe we could get with this new Koha Foundation thingy, everyone watched the recording of the koha-US meeting where there was a lovely presentation on Koha Foundation, helping Koha, getting grants, stuff like that. I mean, I'm envisioning, like Koha cataloger on the back, you get security, you can get Koha cataloger, and then you can have indicators matter.
So where are you going to put question the authority file?
That can totally be included because in your 650, the second indicator talks about the source thesaurus for your heading. Very important.
Yes, very important.
When I'm downloading OCLC records, Mark Edit can take out all the 06 and 07 650 fields. Just in a splash. I like that because we don't need them. Trust me, we don't need headings in French.
Quel dommage.
Oh, stove.
Oh, you're on, Lauren. I'm writing it down. Indicators Matter presentation with Lauren in 2025.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll do authority indicators. Just from the more do indicators matter for dummies. There you go. Basics.
I think that one's about my speed. I'll be happy to attend. Oh, and speaking of authority files, and this will be of interest to nobody else here, but if you know a medical librarian or someone who does NLM cataloging, might be, it is possible. Well, okay. NLM uses MASH medical subject headings to catalog books and journal articles. You can download the entire MASH database and upload it to your authority file. You can download it in MARC format, which I thought was kind of neat.
Does anybody else have anything they'd like to bring to the group?
I have 4 bugs I've filed that anybody else might be interested in. The first one is to be able to apply multiple MARC modification templates when you're staging records. Because right now we have, depending on the vendor, we add different fields or remove different fields. And we update we have a cat code that's a local field that we created that marks the status of a record, whether we need to overlay it, whether it's fully cataloged. So we update that, we update the item type, and we update an initials field. And depending on who is sending it and where the records are coming from and what library they're coming from, there's any number of combinations between those 3 fields. So right now, our list of MARC modification templates is just very long, taking into account every one of those options. So that would be great if we didn't have to create a new combination, a template for every single possible combination. The next one also has to do with staging MARC records. And that is 36847. Just put it in the chat. A better way to signify when something matches on more than one record when you're staging, because right now the only way to tell that something matched on more than one record is just visually looking through the thing and finding 3 radio buttons instead of 2. So my proposal was that there's an option, it either says no match found or match found, but having another one that says like matches found or multiple matches found, so that when you sort on that field, those are all together. Because those are ones where we're like, oh, maybe there's a merge that's needed, or maybe the ISBN is in the wrong record, or so we always look for those before just adding an item to a random one that matches. So it would be easier if we could put those together.
We have something I'd like to raise, but right now it's raining in the library. I have to go take a look at it, but I will be back in a couple of minutes.
Oh, yikes. Good luck. The next one is 35179, the ability to limit MARC modification templates by user. Because we have, we're a consortium, we have 70 to physical locations. There are plenty of mark modification templates that I'm the only one who uses them, and I'm the only one who needs to see them. And there are plenty that other people have created that I don't need to see. So being able to limit it so that you only can see the ones that you need would be really helpful. Oh, okay, Consortia SIG. And I will bring those to the next meeting. The last one, I believe, very much only cataloging SIG interested in. 36749. When you link a heading in the advanced editor, it removes the subfield E designator, relationship designator fields. So if you're linking it in the basic editor, they stay. In the advanced editor, the subfield E's disappear.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And so this is, I don't know, this is if you're manually linking it. I don't know, is there like a link all in advanced? I can't remember.
Well, in our
I don't know
catalog,
if that works too, but
yeah, when I save in the advanced editor, my subfield lines appear. And then
okay.
if there's no subfield 9, then I know I need to manually check. Now I'm wondering if I've been paying attention to my subfield E's or not.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a new thing
I'm
or if
gonna
it's always
check.
worked this way. Okay.
Okay, I'm back. Millie's calling for help. We have the GI lab locker room right above us, and sometimes the shower overflows.
Yikes.
Did you have any other bugs to bring to us, Miranda?
Nope, those are my 4. Thank you.
Those are terrific. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to bring to the group?
Yes. I recently upgraded our library, not the author's catalog, but just plain unmodified everyday Koha library to 2311. And of course, Elasticsearch 6 will not work with 2311. So I tried installing 7 and 8 with absolutely no success. I also tried just a brand new, fresh instance of, I think it was 2311, starting from the command line, and installed Elasticsearch 8, and just puked out a few lines of code and said something went wrong. Has anybody had any success with Elasticsearch? I can bring this up to the sysadmin later. Oh, I also looked at some of the Koha Community demo site links. I didn't look at all of them, but they're all running Zebra, including the one based on 2405.
We're using Elasticsearch, but we're still on 2305 and we're supported by Bywater.
The author's catalog, which really does need Elasticsearch, is 2305, and unfortunately, I'm not sure how I ended up using it was Ubuntu 22.10, which is no longer supported, but that's something for another day.
If you do take this to the sysadmin group, since we're all kind of looking at you blankly, do let us know how it goes. Because yeah, I love Elasticsearch over Zebra for what it does for us. Just the ability to change the fields that are searched and the weights has been fantastic.
And I like just you can index any field, make it searchable, including things that don't actually exist in Mark, like the 858.
Well, they may not exist in the Mark 21 standard, but that doesn't mean they can't exist in your Mark.
But yeah, I might make a cataloger clutch at her pearls.
It might. We won't tell her. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to bring up?
I think I'm going to have to sign off early because to take care of the rain. Fortunately, we caught it in time and it's confined to a wastebasket full. See you next time.
Good luck with that, Fred. Well, it looks like we might be ending early today. I'll just thank everybody for attending. Remind folks that the July meeting is canceled because it would have been held on July 4th, a holiday in the US and I think Election Day in the UK. So our next meeting is going to be on August 1st. And everyone have a happy couple of months. Thanks.